In today's tutorial, let's learn how to do half double crochet when it comes to doing waves, chevrons, or ripples, and whatever you want to call it. It's going to go up and down. Let me show you how to be able to operate doing half double crochet. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. In today's tutorial I'm going to be able to show you the stitch that I just talked about. And what we have is an example of all of the stitches being used at the same time in a particular sample. So what I've done with the white here, those are all the single crochets. So we have double crochets, half double crochets, we have crisscross, we have bobbles, front post, modified front post trebles here, we have the herringbone stitch here, and then we have the seed stitch right here in the back. In today's tutorial I'm going to be covering the particular stitch that is listed in this particular video. I'm going to show you how to do it, but this is example how all of those particular stitches can work together in order to create a really amazing afghan. Now this afghan does have a front and the back side. You can also use this particular kind of sample for doing scarves, and really the sky is the limit, and in today's tutorial I'm going to explain a little bit more about how you can customize this in order to do a project of your own. So here's what it looks like, and we have our example. It's going up and down, and this is just a small swatch. So I had to do a small swatch in order to figure out all the math for you. I have figured this all the way out from a scarf size just like this all the way to a king size afghan. I've done the math for you to tell you exact chain count, but I want to make this an educational video because it's just easier to give you that information. But if you don't really understand it, then what's the point, right? That's a video tutorial. So what we have is that each chevron equals a certain amount of chain stitches, and in my particular pattern 28 chains will take you from one point all the way to the next, just like you see here. And so then we have side edges that are a portion of just a section of each side. So what we have here, in order to get one chevron you have to do 28 chains, and then to stay in balance you have to add an extra 18 to your list. So what we have here is that if you were ever to customize this and say that you wanted to do a different size, you would crochet in multiples of 28. So for example, let's say I wanted 3 chevrons. You would go 3 times 28 stitches. Okay, that'll give you a certain amount, and then you will add 18 extra chains at the end of that in order to stay in balance. So it's just a very easy way. Now on my website I have figured out all those particular chains to start for all of them. Now you're gonna think to yourself, wow, some of those chains are huge, and they are huge, but you have to compensate that when you go up and down like so, is that it's not really like 100 chains straight across. It's, if you did 100 chains straight across it would be longer, but because you are going in an up and down motion you need more chains in order to maintain that, and that's why that there's so many extra chains. So on my website I have all of that information for you, but if you want to customize it, the secret answer is 28 for every one of the chevrons, and then you just have to add 18 chains at the very end in order to get your sides to be equal. You should also keep in mind that this afghan sample is a one-sided sample. Not all of these stitches look great on the other side. So the bobble stitch, for example, it does not exist on the underside. Okay, you'll see that it's completely flat, and also with the crisscross appears better in the front side than it does in the back side. So when you're doing this particular project I'm going to be telling you what is your front side and what is your back side so that you can know exactly where to start. Some of these stitches you have to start on the back side. It's called the wrong side technically in crochet, but you have to start on the back side. For example, bobbins or bobbles like this only appear on the opposite. So as you crochet the bobbles pop in behind. So if I was to bobble along here in this direction, the bobbles would appear on the back side. So every time I do a bobble I actually have to work on the back side so that it does pop out to the front side. So some of these stitches are just like that. The herringbone is like that. The modified front post trebles are like that. A lot of the half double crochets, single crochets, and double crochets did I say that already? Those don't matter, but you have to just be conscious. So in the particular pattern I'm about to show you, I'm going to have you mark what is the front side, what is the back side, so that if you have to adjust and you have to know that, then you'll know it right from the very beginning. So let's just quickly review. It's going to be a 5mm size H crochet hook. I've used Caron Simply Soft throughout this whole thing. That the beautiful colors are from that particular line. So this is going to be a generic intro on all of the 8 different videos because I'm going to show you how to get started. So you'll see here the blue is how I got started. You can see I did a perimeter in white, so that's kind of added in afterward. But all of the intros for all of these 8 are exactly identical, and then once we start from that point we're going to then take you through all of the different examples, and those are each listed as an individual video because you may not want to mix it and match just like so. This is also part of the Stitches Right game that we're doing on YouTube as well as Facebook, and we're just having fun of mixing and matching stitches at random, and that's how this sample has come to be. So without further ado, let's move on to the example that we want to teach you in today's tutorial. So let's get started. We're going to get you to do the first layer, and it'll be the chain, plus we will also start then the double crochets, and then from this point then forward we then move on to the example that is listed within today's tutorial. And insert that onto my hook. So we have in the instructions in our website all the different chains that you would need for your size of project that you want to go. But today I'm going to show you a swatch sample. So as I mentioned, there's 28 chains in one chevron plus 18, and that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm just going to chain 28. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So in 28 this is one chevron. Okay, this is without any sides on it at all. So that's one chevron. So I said that there has to be sides on it. So we're going to add another 18 chains. So let's add 18. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So if you were doing multiples, so you would have done multiples of 28, and at the very end you'll add in your 18 in order to keep it in balance. So now I have one chevron and I have enough chains to do both sides of the project. Let's move on to the next step. So now that you've gone all the way across, we're now going to start, and we're gonna get our chevron to be working right away. So we're going to count back from the to the 4th chain. So count under. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Turn the chain over, get the back hump only, and double crochet into that. And this will create a beautiful finish on the other side of on the bottom, and double crochet. So the chaining of 3 and the double crochet would count as one stitch into the same one, and this matters down in the future. So the next 5 are going to be 1 double crochet each. So let's count that out loud. So 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5. So what I like to do when I'm in this particular stage, I like to look at it. So the first 2 are together. They're into the same stitch. So there should be 5 double crochets by themselves, and there are. So that is going to be the side. So that this is going to be the side in a down direction like this. The next 3 are going to be 3 double crochets together. So how to do that is that you wrap the hook and going into the next chain is that going in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then hold. And you're gonna do that 2 more times. So yarn over, go to the next stitch, in, yarn over, pull through 2, and hold. So now you got 2 there. You gotta do it one more time. So yarn over, pull through 2, and hold. You should have 4 loops on your hook, and you're gonna yarn over and pull through all of those loops. And so now 3 double crochets just became together as one, and this is going to be the coming down and then turning and going back up in the other direction like that. So that's how you do 3 together. The next 12 on your chain are going to be each double crochet, and let's count that out loud. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So this will always exist when you're going in an up direction. So if your chain was a lot longer, every time that you finish a 3 together, the next section will all be 12 by itself. And I like to just double check and count. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So once you get your 12 in, the next one will be 3 double crochets into the same one, and this is the top of the chevron. So every time you get to a top of a chevron, there will always be 3 double crochets when you're moving across the first row. So every time you're gonna move in the down direction now until you get to the other side, is that there will be 12 double crochets by themselves. So we went up on the other side with 12 going up, but now you're gonna go 12 going down. So that was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So do you get that? So every chevron going in the up direction is going to have 12 by themselves. At the top you'll have 3 into the same one, and then there'll be 12 going down the other side. So I'm gonna count that 12 going down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So now we're at the bottom again. So the next 3 are going to be 3 together. Okay, and you just do it how I showed you before. So you just gather them up, and the 3 will be together. So if your chain's a lot longer, the next section would be going 12 going back up, and then your 3 at the top, and then 12 going back down, and you keep doing that until you get to the last little section just like this. So what you're going to do then in the final here is that the next 5 will be 1 double crochet each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and this will leave you with 1 extra stitch which you're supposed to have, and the final that you have will have 2 double crochets in it. And if I can just grab your attention before you take off on me here. So at the very first, remember how we did that the chain 3 and the double crochet counts at 1. So on the other side, the 2 being in there counts into 1 stitch as well. So this is what it would look like, but your sample would obviously be a lot longer, but you have the up and down motion now ready, and now we can move on. But before we move on, what I want you to do is that I want you to grab a spare piece of yarn, and that spare piece of yarn is going to act as a stitch marker. So using a piece of stitch marker and just a piece of yarn, what I want you to do, the side that you just want to cross on, I want you just in the edge here, and I want you just to insert your hook in behind just a piece of the strand and just bring the yarn through. And this is just a stitch holder. This is just going to tell you that every time you do anything, you will know what is the front side and what is the back side, because once you get onto these projects, sometimes it gets really confusing what is front and what is back. Okay, so this stitch marker right in the front will always tell me that this is always going to be the front side. The next part of this tutorial we're going to start, and you're either going to have to watch out for the stitch marker, whether it's on the front or the back side, and some of these stitches it doesn't even matter, but just do that because it just makes it a lot more sense. So let's move along and do the next part. So here we have our project and we're ready to go again. Now I fastened off here, but I didn't need to. If I'm going to do half double crochet and you're not playing with the stitches right game, you can just chain up and do exactly what I'm about to show without having to change your color. But what I want to do for those that are doing the stitches right game, I want you to get it so that the stitch marker is on the front side, so it's facing you. Okay, it's called the right side technically. I'm going to create a slip knot and I'm going to join. So remember, for those that did not want to change the color, they just have to turn the work, and for people that are doing the stitches right game, you're going to want to turn, or just to fasten on. Sorry. So let's begin. We're going to fasten on and we're going to chain 2, and this counts as a double or half double crochet in this particular example today. So we're going to half double crochet into the same stitch that you joined on with. Okay, and do it. So we're gonna move our way down and then back up. So there's going to be 5 half double crochets by themselves in the down motion. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5. And now we're at the base of the turn. So in the base of the turn we want to put 3 half double crochets together. So how to do this is that you wrap the hook and you go into the first stitch and wrap the hook and pull through and hold everything on the hook. To do the next one, then you wrap the hook again going into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and leave that on the hook too. Then wrap the hook again and going into the third one, pull through, and you're going to have all of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops, and once you have all 7, just yarn over and pull through all 7. So you've now just made these 3 into 1, which is the base that allows it to turn. So going up in the up direction every time that there's a long piece like this right in the middle, so you'll only have these short sections on the sides, that there's going to be 12 half double crochets. So we immediately just 12 half double crochets moving up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Just like this. So we have 12 then that has just gone up, and you can kind of see it here. Okay, so I know I'm in the right stitch. How do I know that? So I'm going to look here, and you'll see how there's 3 stitches, and you can see that the first half double crochet is in the first one of this. The next one is the exact middle, and that's the exact top. So in the top we want to put 3 half double crochets into that same stitch, and this is the new top now of a chevron. To come back down in the other direction, okay, every time we come down, just like we had 12 sitting by itself going up, we're gonna have 12 sitting by themselves going back down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, whoops, I dropped the 11th, 11, and 12. So I'm going to look. So I got 12 going down. Okay, and am I in the right section? So how I know I'm in the right section is that you can see that these 3 double crochets are bunched together. Okay, and there's the stitch for it. There's a stitch that's empty, and there's a stitch that's empty on the other side. So those 3 are my new bottom. So to do that is 3 together for half double crochet. So you wrap going into the next stitch, pull through and hold, wrap going into the next stitch, pull through and hold, wrap and going into the next stitch, pull through and hold. You have your 7 back on the hook once again, and you're just gonna pull through all 7, and that's your new base. And now you would just continue to go up 12, okay, and then the next one would be 3 half double crochets and then down 12. So you keep doing that all the way across, and then when you come to the edge there should be 5 half double crochets sitting by themselves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you still have 1 stitch left to go. It's right here, it's the final, and there will be 2 half double crochets into the turning chain. Okay, just like we started off when we joined, we chained up 2, half double crocheted in the same one, so that we should finish off with 2 half double crochets. So let's move along to the next row. So let's begin. We're going to chain 2. You have to watch these half double crochets right in the very end. That this stitch here, you gotta watch, that's the next empty stitch. You gotta get into that first stitch. Okay, half double crochets always can be very deceptive right in the very beginning. So you should have then 5 empties going down. So if you are not having your 5 empties going down, if there's not enough there to do it, what happens is that you end up and you're not going to be in the direct center, and you can tell when you're down there. So it means that you kind of have to frog and just figure that back out. The edges, of course, are always the hardest when it comes to this stuff. So I have now 5 empties, or 5 half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and now here's my middle. So you see how this is grouped together. This is the middle. There's one on one side and one on the other. So those 3 become together. If you can identify your ups and your downs, you don't have to count as much. It just makes life a lot easier. We're gonna go up and we're gonna do 12. So I'm gonna count them out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So let's review where I am here. And so the next one is then the middle of the next section. Okay, so then the next one is gonna have 3 half double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3, and then we move 12 going down in the other side. So on the ups and downs, it's always gonna be 12 half double crochets. So that was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So the next 3 are then the base, and I can tell that's the base because these are together, and I got one on this side that's empty and one on this side that's empty. So there's my 3. Yarn over, going in, yarn over, going in, pull, yarn over, put them together. Okay, you got your 7. Pull through all 7. And now you're just gonna go up 12 if you're continuing along at the top. Then you'll have your 3 halves, and then you come down for 12. So on the edges, just like it was before, there's gonna be 5 in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then your very final one here, there's going to be 2 half double crochets in. So if you're gonna carry on with half double crochet, you just turn your work and just start like I showed you. Other than that, it's just really quite an easy pattern to follow. You just got to know where your ups and downs are, and everything will fall in line. Until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd, as well as yarnspirations.com. We'll see you.